When the clash of swords finally ceases and the sound of drums fades into the distance, the once deafening battlefield plunges into an eerie silence. What was moments ago filled with war cries and clashing metal now resembles an open graveyard. Only the buzz of vultures and the thick metallic scent of blood remain, permeating the air. But for the Roman soldiers, the battle doesn't end with the last strike. With the field now quiet, a new phase begins, one that's far from glorious but absolutely essential. This is the time to deal with the aftermath. While some rejoice, others begin a painful task that defines the true spirit of the Roman legion. Tending to the wounded, counting the dead, and organizing what's left of both life and death. Tending to the wounded. The first and most urgent task is to rescue comrades who are still breathing. Time is crucial. Lightly wounded soldiers assist in locating those severely injured, and medics make do with the limited knowledge and resources available at the time. Imagine being a Roman medic. Without access to antibiotics or anesthesia, you rely on primitive methods to save as many as possible. Even the simplest treatments could be deadly: a bandage that's too tight, a wound that becomes infected. In this environment, success often depends more on luck than on medical skill. For the soldiers, this is a defining moment. Many know that despite receiving treatment, they may never return to the Legion. And for those who lose close friends, the psychological impact runs deep. Yet grief must be short-lived. The wounded who survive are taken to the field medics, while the dead remain. And soon the second task begins: counting the dead and identifying fallen comrades. On the battlefield, counting the dead is a matter of honor and discipline. Every fallen legionary represents a loss for the Legion, and leaving the bodies of comrades scattered across the field could shatter the morale of those still alive. Thus, soldiers specializing in this grim duty begin the painstaking process of identifying each comrade, using markers like shields, armor, or personal items. These records are vital to the Roman military organization. Every soldier has a place in formation, and every gap must be filled. This is not just a number. Each life lost means months of training that must be replaced. For the officers, the priority is to ensure every death is recorded to keep the Legion's structure intact. Respect for the dead and the farewell rituals. Caring for the dead reflects the Roman culture. Death in combat is honored and ceremonies are carefully observed, especially for those in higher ranks. It was believed that honoring fallen soldiers was crucial to the morale of those who remained alive. Seeing a fellow soldier treated with respect helped maintain unity and discipline. When possible, bodies are buried with armor and weapons as a final tribute to their bravery. High-ranking leaders, like centurions and generals, often receive elaborate funerals on the battlefield, attended by the entire battalion. And for the survivors, witnessing these rituals serves as a reminder of their own mortality and their duty to Rome. Hey, if you're enjoying this journey with us, have you thought about supporting our channel? Leave a like and subscribe for more content about the ancient world and the stories of great warriors. The fallen enemies. While Romans honor their dead, the fate of enemy bodies varies. If the enemy comes from a civilized nation, such as the Greeks or Egyptians, they may receive a measure of respect. Prisoners could be used for trades or turned into slaves, adding value to Rome's economy. But if the adversaries are considered barbarians, the story changes. Many bodies are left to nature, seen as unworthy of ceremony. In some cases, captured barbarian leaders are publicly displayed as trophies, a form of humiliation that reinforces Rome's power and intimidates future enemies. Recovering equipment? On the battlefield, every piece of armor, every sword or shield has both strategic and economic value. After the battle, craftsmen, blacksmiths, and other specialized workers arrive to gather, repair, and repurpose anything that's still usable. Damaged armor is repaired, swords are sharpened, and even small metal pieces are salvaged for future use. The most valuable items are taken to the general, who decides what to do with them. He may grant part of the spoils to soldiers as a reward, a practice that encourages loyalty but can also cause tension. After all, who risked more? This competition over rewards can, in some cases, threaten the discipline so highly valued by the Roman army: purification rituals and returning to normal life. After the grim work of dealing with the dead and wounded, soldiers participate in a purification ritual. It was believed that, to return to being a full Roman citizen, a soldier had to cleanse himself of what he saw and did on the battlefield. This ritual is a blend of religious and symbolic practices, including baths in sacred water, offerings to the gods, and even guided meditations led by priests. This moment is profoundly spiritual. Soldiers are reminded that despite what they faced, they are still men of honor and citizens of Rome. This ritual serves as a moment of reconciliation with the actions they were forced to take in the name of the legion. And by the end, what was once a battle-scarred soldier returns to being a Roman citizen, renewed and ready to serve again. Conclusion: lessons learned on the battlefield. Ultimately, the process of dealing with the aftermath of battle teaches each soldier a valuable lesson. War is not just about glory and conquest, it's also about sacrifice and discipline. The moments of pain and loss are shared by all, and it's this bond, forged in adversity, that keeps the Roman army so cohesive and powerful. The rigid structure and values of discipline within the Roman legion form the foundation for the empire's strength. While the common soldier returns to his post, marked both physically and emotionally, he becomes part of an unbreakable cycle that feeds Rome. Final scene: a wide shot of the battlefield at sunset, with a few soldiers in the distance walking back to camp. The sky darkens, and the scene evokes a mixture of respect and reverence for each soldier's sacrifice. If you've stayed until the end of this video, it's because you're as fascinated by these stories as we are. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you in the next battle in the world of history.